at my Olin's. This is what my Olin's currently looks like. What is up? Hello, and welcome to a very unfortunate Thailand car guy vlog because, well, I got bad news from Bangkok. I have crashed my CreamPai. I was literally back in the country 24 hours. The first drive in this car in almost 3 months. Today, I'm gonna tell you what happened, if it's repairable, and what we're gonna be doing moving forward. But thankfully, it is in great hands here at Forza GT. I mean, if they can restore a Ferrari Testarossa, I'm sure they can handle my E30. I want to kind of show you around the shop because there's some very cool stuff here, including Countach, Jaguar XJ220. I mean, look at this. This is a Lamborghini V12 out of a Murcielago with the gated 6-speed manual. Forza GT kind of supports my car. They specialize in classic German and Italian cars, both restorations and modifications as well. And well, they do stuff like this. This is a full nut and bolt restoration on a Ferrari F40. A Ferrari Testarossa. I said Ferrari F40 because they did restore a Ferrari F40 as well with like a bunch of LM parts, and it's actually painted silver. That we know of, it's the only silver Ferrari F40 in the world. I was lucky enough to be at the shop when they had the engine out, and I was able to kind of see the entire drivetrain out of the car. I mean, how often do you get to see stuff like that? But this Testarossa is what they're currently working on here at the shop. And the level of detail they go through with like every one of these little nuts and bolts to make sure everything is the correct color is just crazy. I mean, look at that. Look at the suspension. I mean, it's brand new. I mean, the goal of this car, this Testarossa, is essentially to make it look like a brand new car. This Jaguar XJ220 is very, very famous. And the reason why it's very famous is because it's serial number 9. And the reason it's special, it being serial number 9, is because it was made and delivered for Rama 9, the king of Thailand. That was his car. 488 GTB challenge car. So, you have another Ferrari here. Obviously, there's going to be a ton of Ferraris here. The owner of Forza GT used to be the manager of the Ferrari dealership in Bangkok for like a decade, and then he left and started Forza GT. This over here is super cool. I mean, this Ferrari is cool, but what I really love is this blue Countach. Man, it really doesn't come off on camera, I don't think, but I think this is a 308. The color on this car is unbelievable. It's this really nice dark gray metallic with the custom silver Ferrari calipers. And then it does have aftermarket coilovers on the car as well. Man, this thing is actually pretty sick. Me personally, I have a thing where I love seeing Ferraris that aren't red. I know red is like your typical go-to Ferrari color, but to me, it's just a boring choice. I love seeing cars in unique colors. Speaking of that, this Countach, dude, this thing is crazy. I love the color on this car. Countach is another car. While it's a Lamborghini, not a Ferrari, it's just typical to see them in red. And seeing one in blue is so unique. How cool is this thing? You really don't see many Countaches like this. Like, this thing is also, just like the Testarossa, is going through a full restoration, like nut and bolt restoration to new or better than new. It's a Ferrari engine. There's just like Ferrari and Lamborghini parts everywhere here. Look at these seats. Wow. Those are really, really nice. All the mechanics here are currently on their lunch break, so I'm just like wandering around the shop, checking out the cars, looking at car parts. It's a Murcielago. This car has gone through a full restoration as well. This car was like, if I'm not mistaken, this car was crashed and it caught on fire. And they've completely rebuilt this car basically from the frame. Again, if they can handle stuff like this, they got CreamPai covered, no problem. Lamborghini, Murcielago, SV, and this car is actually for sale. I'm not a huge fan of like the red trim pieces and stuff, but if you are in Thailand and you want to buy a Murcielago, there you go. It's currently for sale. And right over here is something that I can't show you. I can't show you what's over there. It's very, very special. The most expensive car in this shop. Very nice Gallardo here. transmission's out. And there is your V10. Oh, very nice wheels. Got some BC forged wheels. I love these Gallardos, especially if you can get one of these days in the 6-speed manual. I think it's such a great buy for what you would call an entry-level exotic car. Naturally aspirated V10, 6-speed manual. You don't get that in modern supercars these days. If I was back in the US and I had a little bit of money to spend and I was going to buy something cool that was just a very visceral, exciting analog driving experience, it's very difficult to beat these Gallardos or the first generation R8 V10 with the gated 6-speed. What is going on here? This is a lot of V8s, V12s. That's a Maserati V8. This is a V12 over here. I'm assuming that is a Lamborghini. There's another one over there. That is also from the Murcielago. That's the Lamborghini V12. Oh my God, look at that. That's a McLaren V8. I've never seen a McLaren V8 engine out of the car like that. By the way, guys, if you didn't see it in my last video, we just dropped this brand new CB Media dry fit shirt in red, white, and blue, both the American and Thai flag colors, and they came out sick. Listen, if you don't own one of these dry fit style shirts, you have to get one. They are life-changing. Here in Thailand, I strictly wear dry fit shirts because of the hot weather. If you live in an area that has a hot climate and it's middle of summer, I'm telling you, you gotta get one of these shirts. Grab one today at CB Media on YouTube.com. Now, let's talk about what happened to CreamPai. On my first drive back in Thailand, after not being behind the wheel of this car in almost 3 months, I went out for a cruise Friday night, met up with some friends, was hanging out, ended up getting caught in a massive rainstorm. And at one point when I was trying to merge onto the highway in the rain, when it's wet, in a V8 BMW E30 on R888 tires with no traction control, I was attempting to merge on the highway and a car came up behind me super fast, and I was trying to merge to get out of their way, and basically I just ripped the tires loose, like it just spun. Zero traction in the rain on R888s with a V8 E30. And once I attempted to get back in the throttle again to get the hell out of the way, the car just slid into the wall and there was nothing I could do. But thankfully, it's not as bad as it could have been because it was at a very low speed. As I was saying, I was attempting to merge onto the highway. And the way I hit the wall ended up being very lucky because I ended up tapping the wall with the very corner of the car instead of hitting it head on. It was actually a very interesting experience getting into my first and hopefully only accident here in Thailand. Again, this was at like, I would say 11 p.m. on a Friday on the highway with a lot of traffic in what is considered the fast lane here in Thailand, and I tapped the wall. Within a couple of minutes, an emergency team showed up, basically a truck with flashers on it. They blocked off the lane to protect me and my car. They called a tow truck. Once the tow truck came there, they yanked the car off the wall, towed it to the police station in Bangkok. I ended up having to pay what was equivalent to about 75 US as a fine for damaging the wall, but surprisingly, the tow was free. They didn't even charge me for the tow. I paid the 75 bucks for scratching the wall, and that was it. It's good to go. The next day, it was here at Forza GT. So, what's going on with CreamPai? It's not as bad as it could have been. Like I said, I pretty much just tapped the wall on this corner here, causing damage to the fender, the wide body, the front bumper, the lip, and the grille. Even the hood is only very slightly damaged. But most importantly, what's super important is the fact that the core support, the radiator, and the shock towers were completely undamaged. So yeah, the vast majority of the damage is within here, the suspension, obviously the control arm. This is bent. The AC lines and the brake lines are smashed. We have some damage here. My wide body kit is messed up. My front OZ Futura is pretty damaged as well. But once I hit the wall with the front, it slung the rear out and I actually damaged the rear OZ Futura. But surprisingly, my wide body fender here was not damaged at all. This is what my Öhlins currently looks like. Yeah, I think that's a problem. Maybe it's time to upgrade from Öhlins to something like really, really nice. Really, the most expensive, biggest problem we have in this accident is the price of repairing wheels and the coilovers. And again, I'm super grateful I hit the wall the way I hit the wall. Like, I hit it at the very corner, and then it just slung the back around, and then I smacked the rear wheel on the wall as well. But this could have been way worse. I could have hit the wall head on and completely crushed the front end of the car in, or this situation could have happened at a much higher rate of speed. I was not going fast at all because I was trying to merge on the highway. Lunch break is officially over here at Forza GT. Whoa! Ferrari cold start, very nice. Lunch break is officially over here at Forza GT. I'm gonna let these guys get to work on CreamPai, and that is the story. How I crashed my CreamPai in Bangkok, Thailand. See you guys in another video very soon. Dang, that Ferrari sounds sick.